The heck is going on, guys? Today I'm gonna get the chance to break out and review and try for the first time my Sthil SR 430 backpack sprayer blower mister thing. You better strap in, this is gonna be big. I've had it for about a week. I haven't had a chance to do anything with it yet, but looking around, I got to mow my yard before I can put it on YouTube, so it'll be further delayed. So I'll hang tight. You know, this won't really take any time for y'all because, you know, I'll just cut right to it. But I got to mow the yard, so stand by. Sthil SR 430 backpack Mr. Blower sprayer thing. Strap in. Got the yard mowed, so now we can go into talking about the Sthil backpack blower sprayer mister thing. So stay tuned and I'll show you what inspired me to get such a quality item. I love watching this guy. He's hysterical. He knows his stuff too. All right, so I'm plopping down out here to watch my favorite TV program and enjoy my favorite beverage, and oh my god, whoa, mosquitoes are terrible. What do you do? I decided to go with this SR 430 from Sthil. There's a model below this and a model above it. The model above it is virtually the same blower and apparatus and all, but the tank is configured different to where you can take it off, flip it around, and blow dry powder out of it. My dealer, TR Wallet at Wallet Small Engine here in Red Oak, North Carolina, the premier Sthil Bobcat Walker Red Max dealer in the world as far as I'm concerned, he said that his experience with the one that'll spray the dries when you take your tank off and flip it around, he has had some of them that will leak. So they come back to the shop with a leak in them from taking the tank off and turning it around. So I decided to go with this one over the lower model because it's a little more powerful, and it actually has a pump inside of it that forces the material through the pipe there and gives you a little more distance, and it will spray holding the nozzle up some. The gravity fed one will only spray if you're holding it nearly straight, you know, at a downed angle. But there's the 430. Red Max does not make a sprayer mister thing, so I was unable to get a Red Max, so I settled for the Sthil. Hardly anybody makes one of these anymore, actually, out of the big handheld equipment companies. Hey, so what does this thing do? Well, you can use it to spray different herbicides. You can use it on vegetables and to spray herbicides on flowers and plants and on shrubs. And the idea behind it is it forces this mist. And you need to get a lot of these products on the underside of the leaves. And when you're blowing it with this mist, you can flip it up and get really super coverage all over the plant. What I'm going to use it for here today at my house is mosquito control, and this is becoming more and more popular. There are companies that are selling mosquito control out there, and it's becoming a pretty big business. But I'm going to start out just trying it here at home, and then I might get the proper certifications, because in North Carolina, on top of the 3 or 4 that I already have, you need some kind of human health something. I don't remember what the hell it's called, but when I get time, I'll look into that and get it. But first, I'm going to experiment with this bad boy at home. And I'm going to show you, well, you and myself, because I haven't even cranked this thing up yet, what this thing does and what the attachments do and that kind of thing. So stand by. All right, well, I filled this thing up with water, and I can tell you one thing right off, first impression, is it's kind of heavy, but I mean, it's not a problem for me, but I could see where somebody else, a smaller person or something, might struggle to tote this thing around, and the weight is centered pretty high, so it's not balanced at all. But I mean, that's kind of the nature of this kind of apparatus. I mean, it's nothing to do with steel. All right, well, I've got a couple of different attachments. This right here, this is the regular volume attachment, and I think it's supposed to just, yep, it just pulls right out, and you line up the notcheroo there and push it back in. And this is the ultra low volume attachment, and all that means it's gonna meter less stuff out as you spray. And I don't know if it shows up, but there's numbers on there that's gonna show you your output per minute. We're gonna go with the standard volume here, and there's a arrow right there on it, and you'll line your number up there. It says 1.8, so we'll be putting out 1.8 per minute. All right, there's different heads that go on your nozzle here, and they just snap on. This is kind of like a diffuser. This is just going to kind of fog your spray pattern out. Then this one with the slots all going one way, and you would turn it with them going up. Now what the deal is with this one is you can come up to something and spray at it, and it's going to direct it up. So if you had some larger leaf produce or something, like a damn cabbage or some mess you were trying to spray, or collards, you come up and spray up under the leaves, just walking right up to them. And this one here, they go in opposite directions, and you put it on where they're side by side like this. If you had something planted in rows, you go down the middle and hold it right at the middle, and it's going to divert one spray off to one side and one spray off the other side. I've had that happen to myself, like getting up about 3 o'clock in the morning, going to the bathroom. You just don't know which one to get in the bowl there. And that's what that one looks like. All right, and then here's another, this is an in-tank filter that just snaps down right in the bottom of the tank down there over the intakes. But all right, well, let's get down to the brass tacks here. I got some water in it. We're gonna do some spraying with it. Pretty simple controls. I hadn't worked a steel in a long time, but you know, not sure. You choke and you on off and push it all the way down and cut it off. And you know, you got to squeeze the orange thing to make the trigger go. But this is the this one right here is the pump, so that's going to control your flow out, and you shut it on and off. All right, let's fire this bad boy up, spray some water, see what it does. Experiment with just water. I got it at an up angle toward this tree here. So I gotta turn it on first. Just getting it on up there, and that's in a straight up angle. Tried it out. Owned a steel backpack blower in a long time, but I really do not like this part right here at all. The pipe has a little stop on it that keeps it from rotating out anymore, so it stopped right there. It's as far outward as it'll go. It's just kind of, I guess you get used to it, but I don't care for that. But it'll shoot it on out there. So I mean, I could get in these cypress trees over here pretty close to the top without spraying. And I sprayed it in this tree right here, and I was getting it to that branch right there. So I guess I'm not a good measurer, but I'd say that's 25-30 feet pretty up. Typical for insect control and for mosquitoes is something like this. This is a this is Tolstar. It's just a low active bifenthrin. So you would go, depending on your output rate, probably on average a couple of ounces to the gallon in the tank of that. A lot of people are using some essential oils, things like that. I guess some different pyrethrins maybe, but you know, just for my test purposes around the house today, I'm gonna put 2 ounces of bifenthrin per gallon in there. But the lucky thing for us, Sthil is a European company, and the damn measurements on the side of the tank are in liters. So I think there's, I mean, I don't know, 3.8 maybe liters a gallon. Don't hold me to that. You can Google it, but I can't remember. But it's there's a lot of liters in a gallon. It's about 4, I think. So anyway, we'll map that out and figure out what we got to put in this thing. But I'm gonna put some in and maybe set the thing up and show you what I'm doing. I'm gonna spray all the shrubs and get us some good even coverage, and try to flip those leaves with the blower pressure. And before I do that, I might hook up the different nozzles, the different diffusers with just some water in it, and kind of give you an idea of the patterns on that. We'll do that, and then we'll spray some stuff. Anyway, I'm gonna spray under this deck, and with this fogger, I could just go right through the lattice and blow up under there. I'll spray all these shrubs, and hopefully get it where I can sit out here without the mosquitoes taking my beer. That's just the round diffuser pattern. This is the underspray one, right upside down. This one is quite interesting. This is the 3 a.m. dual streamer. All right, well, there we go. I think I'm gonna go sans deflector when I spray my stuff around here. That means without getting fancy here. All right, so we'll go 2 ounces of bifenthrin to the gallon. So I gotta math out how many gallons are in this thing. So I'll be back. All right, so it's a 13-liter tank on it, roughly 3.5 gallons. So I'm going to put 2 ounces to the gallon of the bifenthrin in there. So that'll put me at 3, 6, 7 ounces of it in there. We'll let it rip. We'll see how this fares. Hopefully we get these gnats down too. I got crazy gnats around here. I'm gonna have to put my sunglasses on. Forgive me. But before we start spraying with it, we're gonna actually measure how long the output is, just for the heck of it. I mean, it looks pretty sufficient, but we'll see. I'll talk a little bit about the technical specs of the SR430, the SR450, and the little one, the 200, I think it's called, the SR200. The 430 and the 450 are going to be absolutely identical in their power output and their spray volume and all that. The weight, they're about 27 pounds and some change. I think the book says 27.3. It's got a 63.3 cc engine in it. It's gonna blow out at about 540 some CFM air volume, 201 mile per hour speed at the nozzle. What's important about that, I mean, you're not moving debris, so it's not that big of a deal, but that will help you flip those leaves on those shrubs when you go in and try to blow into them to get your material on the underside of the leaf. And as far as distance, the manual says 48 feet in a vertical spray. We'll see. The 200 weighs about 10 pounds less. I think 18.7 is what the manual says. 341 CFM, that's the air volume, the output of the air volume, versus the 542 on the two bigger units, 181 miles an hour. A smaller tank, the big one, the big two, the 430, excuse me, the 430 and the 450 have about a 3.7 gallon tank, 13 liters, I think is what the notches say on it. And the small one, the 200, has a 2.1 gallon tank. So the small one is obviously going to be lighter and easier to handle, but it's not going to really have the do-it power the other ones do, and it doesn't have an actual pump on it to dispense the material. I want to say it's just gravity fed and just feeds down in there, depending on your little knob there, as far as it's going to dictate the amount of product you're getting in it. So that's just some thoughts on those two, the technical aspects. Let's measure out and see how far this thing will shoot for us. I don't know if you see the background, but this seam in the concrete, and I laid the measuring wheel out. That's 48 feet away. Let's see if we can hit it. We'll see. Maybe I got to crank up the little volume knob too. We'll try that. Knob thing at max rate. 48 feet seemed like a hefty claim. I'm 48 feet away from the machine now, and I don't know if you can see the wet spot on the concrete. It was obviously getting a little bit further than that because of the, it's a mist. Well, I'll measure out and give it a couple of feet for, the benefit of the doubt, and we'll see what we got. I'm going to say about 30 feet is what you're going to get out of it. But I mean, you might be able to set it different or put different nozzles on it. I'm sure there's some way that they're claiming they got that kind of distance, or maybe I read it wrong out of the book. But about 30 feet is pretty good anyway. That's about all you're going to need. All right, well, I got a couple more things to go over, and then we'll actually spray the bushes. I'm going to show you one thing real quick. You buy a 6-pack of this Sthil synthetic oil when you buy your unit. I guess they do this with all Sthil stuff. They'll double your warranty. I mean, you're going to use oil anyway, so that's all right. So I bought it, so I doubled my warranty. Here's one last look at the beast. I'm going to set up somewhere where I can capture spraying this stuff. Obviously you want to use your head when you're doing stuff like this. A lot of times hollies like this in the right season will be full of pollinators. So check out things like this and make sure that you're not gonna waste a bunch of bees or anything. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spray all the shrubs, trying to use the power of the machine to flip the leaves up and spray under them. Spray all my trees as high up as I can reach on them, including my cypresses back here. Be careful not to spray into my pond. I'll position myself to where my drift doesn't go in the pond. Read your label on anything you're applying. Make sure you're wearing all the proper PPE and following, you know, your protocol on where to spray, when to spray, how to spray, regardless of what you see me doing. But hopefully this will help me with my mosquito problem, and I'm going to try to set this thing up somewhere where you can watch a little spraying. We'll learn how to do this together, I guess. Here we go. That goes pretty quick and easy, actually. You can really get some coverage on these bushes like this. I could see where this would be useful spraying any insect problems you had on the lawn too. Vegetable gardens, all kinds of things. Like I said, we're just experimenting with the bifenthrin to start off with, just to see how it does. I can imagine it would take a couple of few applications to really get your mosquito population down, just going through their life cycles and things. But probably, you know, start off, I'm just going off the hip here, probably do it every 2 weeks for a while till you start to see a real decline in them. Then you could probably back off to 3 weeks or something like that. And I'm sure there's more, I'll research more, and there's more tank mix partners that could go along with this to make it more effective or make it last longer, or to go after fleas and ticks, that kind of thing. But all in all, I can see this be a real useful addition, and get spiffed up on how to do this, and probably start offering this as a service when I get the right credentials for it. Anyway, the old Sthil, get you one. Oh yeah, that brings me to another point that when I say get you one, it made me think about it. Don't just waltz into your dealer if he doesn't have one of these in stock and expect to get it. They're out of stock at Sthil right now. I guess due to the coronavirus, and they might be spraying coronavirus killer out of these things now, so they're in high demand. I don't know, but anyway, the distribution center, or the Sthil place up at Virginia Beach is out of stock on these bad boys right now. So because I ordered this through my dealer like 2 months ago, and he didn't have it, and we finally just tracked one down at another dealership, and I just went and got it because I was ready. The mosquitoes were driving me crazy. They were making my outdoor fun unenjoyable. But anyway, there you go. All right, I'm done now.